What is up, knife nuts? Drew with Pocket Steel here. We're gonna do a little review, and we're looking at some Spydercos here. So all Spydercos, extremely awesome, right? Love them. Definitely love my Spydercos, and that would definitely mean that if I am a Spyderco fanboy, that I would like all of them. Not the case. All these knives right here, they're great, but they do make some stuff, and of course you get what you pay for, but they make some stuff that, I'm just not completely thrilled about, to be honest. We've got here the Spyderco Byrd line, Cara 2, FRN handle, lightweight. So let's talk about this knife. I can't say that I hate it, but I would probably say that out of all of the knives that I own, this is, I would say, my least favorite. It's also, I believe, the cheapest out of everything I own. There are a lot worse knives that you can get for the money that this costs, and that's about $20, somewhere around there. I think I paid about $20 for it on Amazon. So you definitely could get some junk knives for $20, but this one, it's just, again, comes back to you get what you pay for. Even just stepping up to the next $10 price point for something like the Persistence, maybe that's about the $40 price point, or the Ambitious for $30. You get just a better quality knife. Some of the specifications on this, we've got a Chinese-made knife, which, just like these three right here, all made in China. Great knives. I can't really say anything bad about them. But it is a Chinese-made knife, and we've got 8CR 13 MOV steel. Great steel, can't complain. I'm a big fan of Aus 8, and they're relatively comparable blades, or steels, I should say. See if we can get that without some glare. 8CR 13 MOV, made in China. You see right there. But yeah, this is let's get back to some specifications for it. So anyway, it is 3.2 ounces. So it's a light knife for the size. I mean, it's a big knife. You see it in comparison to PM2. I don't know about considerably larger, but it's definitely a bigger blade. Let's move some of these off here. It's a good sized blade there. Coming in at 3.2 ounces, that's there's something there. It is it's got milled out liners in there. Let's see if we can get that to pick up. Yeah, there we go. You can see it picking up a little bit. It's milled out there. FRN handle. The handle is bidirectional, so it's got these kind of scales here, which are made to mimic bird feathers, since it is the Byrd line. I will say that definitely feels like it's gives you a good traction on there. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip out at all. So that's definitely a strong point of it. Some people might not like it, might kind of feel like it digs into your hand. Doesn't really bother me any. It just gives it a good grip. And speaking of grip, I mean, it's got some good ergonomics. These points down here might be a little sharp. Like that edge right there. That's for $20, you can't expect everything to be perfect, but that down there, it's got a little sharp edge to it. These spots right here, it just happens to kind of fall in between my pinky and ring finger. So if you had a larger hand, it might kind of dig in differently. But for my small hands, I mean, it kind of, it fits pretty well. The jimping, with every Spyderco, the jimping up here is great. It's got choil jimping as well. And, that's same thing, very aggressive jimping. It's definitely locked in. It's not going to go anywhere when you've got it, gripped with, up there on the choil and the thumb ramp. And it's got jimping up here, on the top of the handle. So, if you're trying to really cut and get into something, I mean, your thumb is pretty secure, your hand's secure. I mean, it's definitely not going to go anywhere. It's just great grips all around on this knife. It is, let's see, so pretty big blade. We've got, what is this, 3 3/4 inch blade, full flat grinds with a 3.2 inch cutting edge. This one, it's ACR 13 MOV. I've worked with it before, trying to sharpen it. For some reason, I don't know if it was me specifically that night, but this one was, giving me a hard time trying to get it sharp. And finally got at the point where it's pretty sharp. I can't really complain about the blade too much. I mean, it's where I'd want it to be for a knife. It's got the signature Byrd line. It's kind of a half spider hole and half bird eye type thing. I prefer a regular standard Spyderco hole, but it definitely that just gives a nice deployment. This one, because it is a lockback, I mean, you can't, I don't know, maybe I haven't broken it in, but see, I'm really trying there to get it out, and it just, it takes a little bit of effort to get it out. I feel like I get a better grip on the standard holes, because when I go for deployment, this section down here, just kind of, my thumb wants to fall into that. Whereas just a standard hole, it kind of fits perfectly. But definitely, maybe I haven't played with it enough because I'm not a huge fan of this knife and it's not broken in. But I would say I've given it quite a few flicks now, and it still feels pretty tight. I mean, the detent is it's strong. It definitely doesn't want to let go until, almost all the way through. I mean, the detent feels about the same all the way through. So, it's not a quick deploying knife. At least mine's not. I don't know. Maybe guys have played with played with theirs more and have an easier time. But in lockup, one of my biggest negative aspects, downsides to this knife is the blade play. While it's locked, nothing really to speak of. I mean, it feels pretty solid, but the second I release this lock, I mean, I think you can see that on camera. I mean, that thing just wiggles. Look at it. It's so loose. And if I were to tighten it any, it's going to be extremely hard to deploy. So it's kind of, there's not much I can, do about that. I mean, this blade play, I would, look at that. I mean, it wiggles all around, that's side to side. I mean, look at that. You can probably hear it too. So that, not a huge fan of that. Centering on it though, I mean, it's pretty well centered, so I'm actually surprised it has that much play. But I don't know, it's a really loose knife. Again, I mean, you're in the $20 price point with this knife, so you can't expect to be getting, $50 plus, $100 plus quality out of it. I just, coming from Spyderco, I expected a little more. It does come out of their Chinese manufacturing, so their quality control and most of the stuff, just like any of the resilience, persistence, any of their Chinese stuff, typically going to be pretty good. But maybe it's my knife specifically. I don't know. I've never put my hands on another Cara 2, but I just am not a huge fan. I don't hate it. it's the last thing I really ever go to grab and mess with. A few other good things about it. It's got, a pretty standard Spyderco belt clip here. It's nice and strong. I mean, that's that's gonna lock into your pocket pretty well. It's a four-way adjustable. This one is configured tip down. The lock back here has a cutout for safety. If you're grabbing on the knife, you don't have to worry about your palm digging into that and accidentally releasing it and having a bad day. So that's one good thing about it. So yeah, the Spyderco Byrd line Cara 2. If you're looking for a knife that's cheap and some of the things that I pointed out don't really bother you, or you just want to kind of add to your Spyderco collection and you don't plan on using it too much, I mean, it's a knife you can get, but at this point I would be hard pressed to buy another Byrd line. Again, it might just be my knife specifically, maybe quality control that day. Somebody was taking a nap on the job and, there's just, I don't know. It doesn't wow me. I love my Spydercos. I don't love this. So take it as you may. But thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And have a good rest of your day. Bye.